All right, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whenever I'm catching you. I got a new video for you. This one, I'm going to talk about another important listing attribute. I'm sticking with listings here. We're going to talk about listing descriptions. Um, Probably one of the top 3 or 4 items that you should really pay attention to when you're starting to list items or when you've listed items, to go back and make sure that your listing descriptions are on point. All right, so let's dive in here. What we're going to do is pull up a couple of different shops and just look at their descriptions, and we'll talk about some different strategy tips and tricks and stuff that you guys want to pay attention to when doing your listings. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. You want to kind of find your own voice, but your listing should involve the same components no matter what, as far as basically just thoroughly talking about your item. So let's pull up an item here and see their description. So let's do clothing today. So let's do a hoodie. Whoops, spelled that wrong. Since it is cold in most of the United States right now, we will talk about hoodies. So clothing is usually really important because it fits differently. There's different styles. So let's go down here. This is kind of general, so it's really all over the place. So this one catches my eye. So let's go in here and look and see their description. All right. So usually this is a shorter description. You don't have to. Sometimes it'll have where you can see more here. All right. So the description here, they have their title: striped chalk terry pullover. They have their website in here. Then the striped terry hoodie is perfect for a day at the beach or an evening at the fire, which is good. I like how they put in what it's good for. So it's always good to kind of paint a picture for your customer. What situation would your item be good for? What event would your item be good for? Who would like your item? Who's your item perfect for? So that's always good. Then they also have what the item's made out of: 60% cotton, 40% polyester. So this is good. You should always put your specs in there: sizing, what your item's made of, how it's made. So they have all that in there. Burnout fade look is composed of loose terry knit fabric that has a technique of burn washing, raw edge, front pouch pocket. So they do a really good job of describing this item. This product has a loose fit. If you do not like your sweatshirts oversized, we would suggest you go down a size. So this is pretty good. They do a good job describing the item, who it would be good for, and the sizing, which is really important with clothing. If it runs big, if it runs small, I mean, you're going to get a lot of questions on that. So it's really good to put that in there. They don't really talk about, this one's kind of general because this is a Jeep shirt. Yep, you wish you had one. It's kind of general though as far as describing what's on it. They do say it's good for the beach or evening, but this is talking about a Jeep. So I would put in there, it's a good shirt for Jeep lovers, or a good gift for a Jeep lover, because it seems like they probably have this same shirt and just do different designs on it, so they just kept it general. But their title was general too, so it doesn't have anything about a Jeep in their title. So if you're going to start with a title, I would put a little bit more specifics in there as well. So just some pointers. Another thing you can add in your description is policies. Now there is a policy section, but a lot of people don't look at it. So you want to put the most common policies in there. How quick does your item ship out? Ships out within 1 to 3 days. We use standard shipping, or we use first class shipping. And then, return policy is another common item that you can put in there. You know, we accept returns within 14 days, stuff like that. Anything applicable or anything you might get questions about or gotten questions about before, you want to try to put in your description where it makes sense. Your goal with your description is to have this customer look at your item description and not have any questions. You answered all their questions right then and there. Because the chances are, if they have a question, they're just going to move on. They're not going to ask you their question. They're going to find their item somewhere else, and they're going to move on and buy it from the person that did answer their question. They don't want to go through the time of messaging you and waiting for a response. So try to hit that in your description so that you don't have that problem. All right, so let's go to another listing so you guys can see. Ooh, here's a bestseller. So Etsy does put this bestseller tag there. I don't know how many you have to sell before you get that, but I know it's a bunch. I don't think they make it known how many you have to sell. So this is a lacrosse shirt. So see how it has a more tab here? You can click more and it has the full descriptions. So available sizes, men's, so it has a sizing. And they broke this down in sections, which I like. You can definitely do this too. Quality, here's a description of how it's made. Here's a description of the sizing, find your size. Shipping, here's what I was just talking about as far as shipping. And then refunds and exchanges. And then here's just a positive note, which you can put a little bit about your shop maybe in there. You don't want to make it too long-winded because people probably aren't even going to get this far. But these are pretty much the main points. Again, I would describe who this is good for up here. They don't really put that. You know, this is a Beacon Hills lacrosse shirt. You know, maybe you want to put, I don't know if this is specific to anything, but maybe you want to, I don't know what the Beacon Hills is, if that's an actual place or it's from a movie or whatnot, but you want to make sure to address, say this is a great lacrosse shirt for, you know, people who play lacrosse or have a lacrosse event coming up or something like that. Just a little tidbit in there will kind of help. All right, let's jump into another one. We'll do one more. I'm sure you guys get the idea right now as far as what to shoot for. Wow, here's a hoodie for 118 bucks. Let's check this out. All right, handmade hoodie made of high quality sweatshirt and cotton. So it says a description. It says the types. It says the sizing. Time of making 4 weeks. Wow. So yeah, I guess it is handmade. In time of shipping. So this is good timing, especially if it takes this long. It's good for people to know how long it's going to take. So yeah, pretty much this is pretty basic. It covers all the major points, a little bit of policies, type, and descriptions. We'll do one more since that one was pretty quick. Let's jump into one more here. All right, here's an equestrian hoodie. Let's look at this one. Personalized equestrian hoodie. So that pretty much describes exactly what it is. Girls horse riding hoodie personalized with initials. So you can, for personalized items, they have a description in here, which is good as far as what to do at checkout and how to personalize your item. So that's always good. They have the sizing chart here, which this kind of, you can put it here. This is kind of a lot how they have it spread out like this. I would always recommend putting the sizing chart in the photos as well, but you can put it in here. I would probably just space it a little bit better. And then all orders are sent within 1 working day. All right, so you guys kind of get the point. You can add your own flavor to the description section. Just don't make it too brief. You want to try and describe your item, who it's best for, or who will love it. who it's a great gift for. Describe the details of the product, how it was made, what's it made of, the materials, stuff like that. Make sure to include the dimensions and sizes of your product, especially if it runs big, it runs small. If the size varies a little bit, maybe you're doing a raw edge shelf or something like that, and the width varies by a couple inches, or it may not be the exact same item if it's made by nature part of it. So make sure to include that there is variations. You can add important policies to the section, like I talked about earlier, shipping, return policy, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, keep in mind that your goal should be to answer all of your customers' questions before they have to ask you. Again, if they have to ask you, they're probably not going to ask you, and they're probably just going to move on and try to find a listing where it does answer the questions and then just buy from them. So hopefully that helps, guys. Just keep those points in mind when you're doing your next Etsy listing. Also, I want you guys to keep in mind that we will have more course videos coming on YouTube at Etsy Entrepreneur and Facebook at Etsy Entrepreneur. And down the road, we are working to release a membership to help you guys out and be more successful, and probably some other courses as well, all focused and geared around helping you guys be successful and grow your Etsy shops to the best of your ability. So thanks a lot. Have a great rest of your day.